A typhoon is threatening a drilling platform. The crew jump into the water. A dramatic rescue begins, simulated in the middle of Yangon. The German visitors are astounded. They hadn't expected to see such a high-tech show here in Myanmar, considering sanctions were suspended there only recently.
It's really quite surprising to see an operation like this here.
The training center is owned by Unity Marine. It's one of the few German companies that have been operating long-term in Myanmar, also known as Burma.
It comes from external instructors. I do a lot of training myself.
But there are hopes that more companies will follow. That's why this delegation of 40 entrepreneurs, advisors, bankers, and engineers have come here. Many of them are familiar with Asia, but Myanmar is new territory for most. In the group is Werner Zimmermann from Rheinland-Pfalz. His company produces paints and coatings, and he'd like to sell his products here.
I think it's always important to get in early, to suss out where the different paths lead before things are divided up into sections.
No one wants to miss out on Myanmar's big boom. One local businessman is particularly enthusiastic about the country's prosperity.
Of course, real gold mine, still gold mine, Myanmar is. You see?
So far, it's primarily hotels and real estate agents who have been profiting. Room and office rents have soared beyond those of many other Asian cities in recent weeks. But things haven't changed much for average citizens. The predominantly Buddhist country is home to 60 million, and it's one of the least developed nations in the world. Investors from Germany and elsewhere are most welcome. But just how far along is Myanmar on the road to democracy and a modern system of justice? Representatives from the political opposition visit the Germans in their hotel. They say the country needs jobs and education, but that transparency and human rights also deserve attention. Politician Myo Myint warns of investors helping the wrong people.
If you rush and invest in this time, you have to go to the privileged class, more privileged to the privileged people.
Next, they pay a visit to a fish processing plant. Though there are plenty of fish off the coast of Myanmar, there are few companies that process them due to a lack of money and know-how. The issues are well known here. Power supply problems and poor infrastructure hamper development. Potential investors are also put off by the bureaucracy and corruption. To find out when the situation will improve, the German delegation makes its way to the Ministry of Trade and Industry in the capital, Naypyidaw. Here it becomes clear that investors from all over are already lining up to do business here. The Germans are the fifth group today. According to government officials, investors are welcome and a new law will soon ensure more rights and security.
Foreign investment law also allowed on employment.
But they should also bear in mind that Asian investors have been here for some time. They weren't affected by the sanctions.
146 state-owned industries.
Other countries are already active in the country's heavy industry, they're told. Leaving them to understand, he means China.
Do they have joint ventures or,
Yes,
are they without?
It's slow going back to Yangon along the deserted but dilapidated roads. It's been a long day of appointments and meetings. But Werner Zimmermann has not concluded his business just yet.
They'll probably have to come back in the next 10 to 12 months to seal the deal.
It's said that there's more gold on Shwedagon Pagoda than in Fort Knox. Myanmar's magnificent landmark may well reflect the country's prosperous future as it looks to begin anew.